Then there's the Dallas Cowboys. Okay, man.
Hey, man.
Jerry said to Cooper Rush, put me in a position where there's a quarterback controversy. And when that statement was made, you said, you're the one, you and Mike Hoskins, our CP, you guys got in my ear and saying, hey, Jerry just said there's, Cooper Rush, he's invited him to start a quarterback controversy. And I interpreted that to mean there's no chance Dak doesn't get this job back, no matter how many games in a row Cooper Rush wins. That Jerry's basically like, hey, Cooper, I would love it if you win so much while Dak is out that you create this conversation in the media because A, love being talked about, B, love winning. I might proffer to say Jerry loves winning more than being talked about, and that's saying a lot, I think.
That is saying a lot.
And so
he's done a lot of winning.
And so Cooper Rush has won, and the season I thought that was in dire straits, not so much right now. Not so much right now. And they're coming out here to Los Angeles to take on the world champion Rams, and what better way for, this season to be proven coast to coast is not even not lost, but can be seriously won. Who's the starter? Dak had his stitches taken out last week. You see him doing some light practicing and things like that, but, you need more than freshly healed, surgically repaired hands and light practices when you're going up against Aaron Donald. And a team that, did get beat in San Francisco, Santa Clara last night, but did show, they have some physical chops. They do.
I mean, not last night they didn't show that.
They showed that they can hit you. You don't think so?
I didn't really watch the game, but from everything I saw, it seemed like they got handled yesterday.
They got handled in the red zone. And then they made too many mistakes.
But they're the Super Bowl champions.
They made too many mistakes.
They couldn't block anyone. I mean,
well, up front they got a problem. What do you think that
Nick Bosa was eaten.
You think the Rams have a problem of being, that they're too finesse? I don't know about that.
I think the Rams aren't going to make the playoffs.
Well, I think you're wrong about that. I'll take that. Sold. That said, here was Jerry Jones today about Dak Prescott's readiness and Cooper Rush's starting gig.
Well, I know that it's better, and I know that he's going to go out there every day and make progress toward being able to grip the ball. I don't know that you could ask for better news, technically, physically, and how it's responding, how it's healing, so to speak. And so all of those things are on go, and I don't know that as we go bid bye to each day, if considering the injury, considering the location of the injury, I don't know that you could make any more progress. And there's some things here about healing that, again, I often say only the man upstairs knows how that works.
Right.
But he'll have a big week, and he'll be hard on himself getting it ready to go.
Is he able to grip the football now?
No, not well enough to play.
All right, 105.3 The Fan right there, providing that excellent follow-up question right there. So it's going to be Cooper Rush this week, I think. I mean, if he's saying on Tuesday that he can't grip the football well enough to play, it's Cooper Rush against the Rams. And then if you wouldn't mind putting up the Dallas Cowboys schedule, Mr. Hoskins, when you get that ready, let me put my glasses on as well so I can peruse my color-coded schedule here. I would say let him go against the Rams. And then you got a Sunday nighter against Philadelphia. I don't know if I'm not saying Dak loses his gig. Okay? I'm not saying that. I'm saying what is the rush if he still has trouble gripping a football right now and Cooper Rush is not making mistakes and you're on a nice little roll?
Every game that Cooper wins, buys Dak some extra time, right?
Well,
that's at
if
least
Dak going in, Dak was going to be out 6 games. We thought, when you've broken your thumb and you need surgery on the spot, right?
And then it got changed to 4 immediately.
4 to 6. Let's just give him the end of the 6. He's already made that 6-game stretch no worse than 500. No worse than 500. Mm-hmm. Now, the division might be difficult to win with the Eagles playing the way they're playing, and you're going to lose the next 3. Certainly, since one of the next 3 is against Philadelphia. And that, if Cooper Rush beats the Rams this week, the next game is against Philadelphia in front of the whole country. And they're going to have a tough decision to say, is Dak coming back right now, 1 week removed from not yet being able to fully grip the football, the best move we could make by going into Philadelphia against this defense marauding the way it is? And then if you decide we're going to give Dak some more time, there's home games against Detroit and Chicago.
Winnable.
Well, I guess you could say that, but Detroit does put up some points.
I'm just saying they're all winnable games.
But Detroit is a defense that if you want a soft return for your quarterback, that's not a bad one.
Bingo.
And then you get him going against Chicago as well, and you get some good momentum for Dak going into the bye. Or you just say, that's it, Dak. We'll see you after the bye because we're at Green Bay there. And then we're at Minnesota, and then we're on Thanksgiving against the Giants before a Sunday nighter against Indianapolis.
If they beat the Rams, I mean, that's 4 in a row. Like, what's the rush?
That's what I'm saying. What is the rush?
That's why I said every win buys Dak some extra time on his back.
I think it should.
Cooper Rush could go 6-0 into the bye week.
I know, and then you would be part of the group that thinks Dak shouldn't get his gig back.
I absolutely would be.
But there's a $40 million contract that says he does.
What does Jerry care about $40 million? He cares about winning football games.
Yeah, but Dak is your guy. It's that simple. And
by the way, Tony Romo was his guy too.
Tony Romo was at the end of his career with a back injury, not some surgically repaired hand.
Man.
Yes, he
Come
was.
on. Tom Brady's 45. Tony Romo was 34.
Yeah. And name me how many other 45-year-olds play football.
There's a bunch of guys in their late 30s right now playing football at a pretty good level.
Okay, well, that's not 45,
but Romo wasn't under contract,
Tom Brady
and it wasn't as young as Dak. And if I'm Jerry, I'm sitting here thinking that Cooper Rush is playing like this. Dak can absolutely play like this. As a matter of fact, not only can Dak play like this, but Dak can give me rushing touchdowns. Dak can give me 300, 400-yard games.
Can he? Can he give you rushing touchdowns?
He can. He has. He can if you call it and you want to call a game like that.
We haven't really seen it since he has been injured.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know what his game log information is from last year, but I proffer to say he did return last year and have some rushing touchdowns. He can do it. You can have some games inside the 5-yard line where he's taking it in. I mean, I'm Jerry Jones. I'm like, I paid him $40 million a year, and I love Dak, and he's been a face of my franchise, and I see Cooper Rush playing like this, and I can see Dak playing like that.
Dak has 25 rushing touchdowns on his career. He's had 6 rushing touchdowns the last 3 seasons. So yes, he can.
No, I mean, I'm not saying that's a hallmark feature of his game.
No,
but
he said that you can't. When have you seen him?
I know
rush
that.
touchdowns?
When have you seen it since he was injured? He had 1 rushing touchdown last year.
I'm just. Again, guys, I don't want to get caught too deep in the weeds.
Last year,
he can give that to you in a way that Cooper Rush doesn't. But you know, I don't see Dak sitting as Cooper Rush is going on a Super Bowl run.
Cooper Rush is 6-0, and you're going to say back to the bench, bro.
Yeah, that's what you do because that's his job. It's your job to win games when Dak can't go. That is your job. That is your job.
Dude, Drew Bledsoe had a $100 million contract.
I know.
And Bill said, to the bench, young man.
I know.
I mean, Dak.
But he could also look at what Drew Bledsoe was becoming, and he saw what Brady was doing. How about that?
I don't know.
Dak had 4,400 yards passing and 37 touchdowns last year. Like what?
Exactly.
What are we even?
I know.
This isn't a real discussion. I'm sorry, it's not. It's not a real discussion. Cooper Rush is doing his job. That's your team is very big on it. Do your job. His job is to stand in for the starter. Dak's the starter, he's going to get his job back. Why? Why
His
discussion?
job is to keep it afloat.
And then-
He'll be in first place.
Well, again, like I said, we'll see what it looks like against the Rams. And it is a week-to-week league, and I think this is Cooper Rush's week again, and we'll see what it looks like against the Rams. If it looks as efficient and successful as it has looked in his first 3 starts, with Dak being on the shelf, then they will have a fascinating decision for a Sunday night game in front of the whole country against Philadelphia and Jalen Hurts and their main competitor, with all due respect to the Giants. But they've already gotten that road win against the Giants. They've already won in the Giants' house. That's a huge W for this team moving forward. And they'll have a decision to make. And also, you'll know Dak is working his ass off, and he'll be pushing inside that building. And for them to say to Dak, patience, will be a heck of a week next week.
If he were to beat the Eagles and the Rams,
then you say to him, Cooper Rush, thanks for your job. Thanks for doing your job. Dak is the quarterback of this team, as you know. And here come the Lions and the Bears, and you get Dak a nice head of steam going into the bye because Dak is the guy.